Thank you, Baba. That's a way too generous introduction. Not sure I deserve. And more importantly, I'm incredibly humbled to be here. But may I tell you, at the same time, I feel some pressure, as Tina would say. This is a very hot spot for me, because those incredible stories made me wonder, but what exactly a car executive is doing here? We've heard from a lot of brave officers, but I'm a chief marketing officer, and a chief marketing officer is not known for bravery. And even worse, it's not just marketing, it's marketing cars. So you might wonder if from up here, I'll try to sell you a minivan. Which leaves us with a question. What is a car company doing here at a summit about heroes and courage? Well, I'm here because I believe compassion doesn't belong only to individuals. I'm here because of a belief that leaders of our corporations must be guided by the same beacons that define the virtues of a hero. The belief that a company like ours can have heart. The belief that companies should stand for more than just a balance sheet. Now, this being said, I'm also accountable for the balance sheet. And the good news is, I discovered that a company that stands for values can actually create value. So what does philanthropy have to do with marketing? Well, I really think it does, because you see, at Chrysler and Fiat, we don't believe that having great features, great design, great technology is enough to connect to a consumer. Because the consumer wants to know what the brand stands for. And the more meaningful, the more lasting it is. I happened to discover it almost by accident. It was in 2008. I was at the time the CEO of Lancia, the smallest and most Italian company of the group. And, you know, we had the opportunity to partner with the Peace Nobel Laureate Summit. So maybe because I personally related to a cause, or maybe it was the idealistic Frenchman in me, but I couldn't help divert some of my marketing money to make a statement, to create a video with the Nobel laureates that was a plea for the Burmese leader Aung San Suu Kyi to be set free. And let me tell you, this video in Europe connected us to the consumers more than any kind of traditional promotion or cup holder. So I want to share it with you today. By the way, the first time it was presented, exactly 4 years ago, it wasn't introduced by me. It was actually introduced by Bono. I don't believe I ever thanked you for that, Bono, but I know you weren't looking for thanks. It was about a cause, not about applause. So let's roll the video, please. So this did a lot for the brand, sure, but clearly it was not enough to get what we really wanted, freedom for Mrs. Suu Kyi. So we kept repeating the message year after year. We ran spots like this one for 3 years in a row. And it finally worked, because in 2010, the day the campaign was set on air, that day, I received a message from Mrs. Suu Kyi's representative in Washington. He said, "We won." Can you imagine this? She was set free the day we started airing the campaign. Bottom line, the fourth campaign never ran. And you know what's funny, by the way? For the first time in my life, I was absolutely delighted not to run a commercial. Then, a few years later, I was called to run our marketing also on the other side of the ocean, here in North America. And clearly, the lessons learned in Europe gave me some leverage. So we, with the earthquake, when the earthquake hit Haiti, and Sean Penn asked us for some help, we sent the Jeep brand to the streets of Haiti. Later, in 2011, as Baba mentioned, it was about addressing a different kind of earthquake, an economic one that struck our home city, Detroit. So if Jeep could help rebuild Haiti, Chrysler had the duty to help rebuild Detroit. So we partnered with an unlikely ambassador, Eminem, and imported from Detroit a line that I used in a speech in LA, became a tagline for a movement, for a resurgence, for a city, an industry, a nation that won't quit. So those are examples of how we diverted marketing money to do more than just sell cars. So I was actually tempted to share each and every of those videos with you tonight, but since Tina Brown would kill me and I'm not a hero, I brought this little collage for you. It's 1 minute. Can we roll the video, please? So this is clearly a little mashup of several videos that we have been running to support various causes in the last 2 years. And now the question is, how do we continue this journey? How do we pay tribute as a corporation to heroes? Well, there is a brand in our portfolio that was, I guess, born for noble missions. For Jeep, heroism is a brand attribute. It has a fundamental connection to the US military. It was built to free the world in 1941. It has proven itself in efforts to overcome the forces of evil as well as forces of nature. And it not only shares its bond with the military and this nation's value, it is true to who we are as a corporation. It is guided by a mission that goes back to its very birth in 1941. Play the video, please. So this is an actual commercial which will kick off a comprehensive Jeep initiative towards true heroes, our returning troops. So we are going to make a contribution to those who serve. And this mission will run through all next year. So Tina, I hope you'll have us back next year so I can share with this what this program will have done. But this is for tomorrow, and there are soldiers who need help today. So on behalf of the Jeep brand, we are making a donation to the Hero Summit partners. There are 5. Mission Continues, Team Rubicon, Student Veterans of America, the Congressional Medal of Honor Foundation, and Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. We are giving money to those 5 worthy partners. But we would also like to give recognition to a very special individual. An individual like Steven Diaz. Steven, I know you are somewhere there if you want to stand up. So Steven is one of Jeep's dear friend. He's a corporal from the US Marine Corps who dedicates his time in support of the Wounded Warrior Project. His project honors and empowers wounded warriors and assists in dealing with both visible and invisible wounds. His efforts make the world a better place for those who were injured trying to do the same. Thank you, Steven. So because for all the courage it takes to be deployed, sometimes it takes courage to come home too. It's important that they know the home they left is waiting for them to return to it, that the family they left is waiting to be whole again, that the nation they left to serve is waiting to serve them with a welcome, with a thanks, with an open heart and open arms. There's a video. Okay, so I started with a question, what does philanthropy have to do with marketing? Well, I hope it's clear now that is not just a marketing tool to sell cars. Our reasons go deeper. There is no doubt that a certain level of prosperity is needed to make business. And peace, as well as freedom, are the necessary ingredients for prosperity. And as a matter of fact, peace together with freedom is what true heroes are fighting for. So you know, the lives of our corporations are traditionally based on our long-term business cases or business plans. So I would finish with just two questions. Why wouldn't peace become part of corporations' long-term business plan? And why wouldn't we invest in the heroes who fight for peace as part of our long-term business plan? Thank you.